Hi, gang, sexy. You gotta love when the entire battle area of the game you're playing fits inside your camera window and you really don't have to move the camera. It can't be any cooler. And it's high def, even better. So, all right, so we just finished up the 1300 turn for cross keys. Um, I didn't expect this game to be so bloody as it is, but you get a disrupt on a regiment, and then you hit it again with another disrupt, and maybe there's a plus die roll modifier to their disruption roll, and you succeed in that. Or if he's already disrupted and you disrupt him again, he ends up taking a 50-man strength loss or a 1 point strength loss, and then he retreats 1 to 2 hexes. And you would so with the rules for Fremont in this game not being able to close on the Confederates without, you got to get a special die roll to get somebody into attack, and then hopefully they don't come involuntarily back out or change back out for some reason, then he starts losing his attack orders count, which I really haven't even gotten yet because I can't get nobody into attack orders. All right, I think he was allowed to start with one, but I didn't do that because they were too far away at the start. And I don't know if I can just decide to put one in, because it looks to me like you have to roll for it each at the start of each division orders thing, and you got to roll an 8 or a 9, so that ain't happening. But so you would think, okay, well, most of the Union forces, if not all of them, are carrying rifles or rifled muskets. Let me flip my little chart over here. They are carrying, rifled muskets. So they have a range of 5. Now, at 3 hexes and more, they start getting minus die roll modifiers. At 3 hexes is -2. But like 90%, 95% of the Confederates are carrying flat out muskets, which have a range of 2. They get a +2 modifier at point blank range, but at 2 hexes, they get a -2. So that is why I chose in the first turn to let's race out here with, who is this over here? With my tweezers, with Mr. Trimble. Well, that's odd to see him as a brigade commander. And hit these, get up in these, because these guys couldn't close, and they were in the woods, so they're going to get, at point blank, they'll get a +1, but then they'll get a -1, depending on whether or not you get prep fire or not. But I thought, man, we race out here, and they did a damn on this brigade, and had 3 regiments rush out over here and hit these guys in the face and slowed them down, and they put some damage on them. Now, if you look on the board, there's one. I think there's one in here. So he's got 2 regiments that are collapsed. He's got a regiment that's collapsed, and they've got 2 regiments that are collapsed. Now, nobody is combat. No, there's no brigade combat effectiveness losses yet. All right, but I think if they stay up there, there's going to be some, because this Confederate artillery right here has just been raising hell with that infantry to try to get up here where they could shoot. All right, didn't pay off. They got chased away. Now, Confederates have lost 2 guns. One by random event from this stack over here, a gun exploded. All right, and then there's one in here that got lost to artillery fire while it was in a disruption state. So, but all in all, these 1, 2, 3, 4 sections or batteries of guns right here just raised hell with Milroy's infantry from Fremont's division, which Fremont's also your overall commander on this field. The guys over here to the left, Cluseret and Schenck, so they're sitting at the range where they can shoot, and these muskets can't return fire. And amazingly enough, these 2 regiments right here fired at this Virginia regiment that was sitting right here. And the first guy disrupted him, and then the second guy disrupted him with a +2, and he rolled like an 8. So he takes a step loss and falls back in the woods, and he couldn't even return fire at the range he was at because he was at 3 hexes. So that, unless the Union can get into attack mode, that's really the only way they're going to cause any damage. Now, we finally got these guns clear so they can shoot. The infantry's not standing in front of them anymore because I said, I got to get them out of there, because all they're doing is taking damage from these guns. And then if these guys with muskets decide to close on them because they're in attack mode, they just raise hell with these guys here. And I got to get these guns over. Now, I got a rule out there in question that I'm waiting for an answer back from one of the GBACW guys, is if artillery attached or whatever fires, attached to a brigade fires, it doesn't cause any fatigue. But artillery that's part of the brigade or attached to the brigade, and it says it in rule, I think 5.33, is considered. It says that the artillery as a combat unit. That's what they consider the infantry and cavalry as a combat unit. So if they've had 2 activations where they've moved or fired or something, and they have a third one, if that artillery just fires, there's no fatigue. As long as the rest of these guys don't, the rest of the brigade doesn't do anything but like rally or restore ammo or whatever. But if they move as part of that third activation, I translate that is causing fatigue. So I'm waiting on a response to that one. But the way I read it, it does. That's what it is. Coltez over here, he can't get out of freaking march order. Hopefully maybe this turn coming up he'll be able to do it, because now he's in command, because Blinker can reach him now. All right? So you just can't put him into attack order. I can get him into advance orders, and he'll be good to go. So pretty much all of the Union over here have recovered. Doesn't mean it's going to make life any better. These guys over here are all recovered. There's very minimal casualties, if any, over here. I think there might be one. A lot of casualties through here. A lot of them. And like I said, I pulled Milroy's boys back because they were just taking too much fire. We'll have to figure out something else to do with them. See if we can't start getting some. The Yanks have got to get somebody into attack mode. Taylor's brigade, I kind of boo-booed with them. I elected to move them on in advanced mode with Ewell's activations. That was dumb because they only got 2 movements. Whereas if I left them in march order, because they don't have the penalties that the Union does, that Fremont does, he could have moved originally up into here or here, and then now I'd have him out and into a new mode, and he could join the fight. Granted, he can probably still join the fight from here now, but all of these guys not being in march mode are not going to get any benefit to movement. So, I mean, these guys back here, the tail ends are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll be 2 activations just to get that whole brigade, which is a large brigade, into a place where they can conduct combat. Because like I say, right now, the Yanks can't close. They can stay where they are, or they can back away. These guys might be able to move up, but why do you want to move up here to where these guns can shoot canister at you? All right, you got to stay 3 hexes away unless you get into attack mode. And let's see. They have also been, actually, nobody except for, I think all the regiments actually, except for Coltez over here. I'll go back and read the rules again. Since they've been shot at, that 3 hex thing doesn't matter anymore. I'm going to have to read that one to make sure. But I'll validate that before I start this next turn. So, like I said, here we are after getting ready to start the 1400 turn. The Union already has 2 victory points because they say track them as you're playing instead of waiting until the end of the game because of the 2 guns that were lost. There's a leader that's been killed right here. Boland's been killed in Shiznowski. Recognize that name from Gettysburg? He has taken over. He has 1 star. He has a 0 effectiveness, but I think Boland had a -1, so why wasn't Shiznowski in command anyhow? All right, so let's move on to the 1400 turn and see what develops. Catch y'all later.